Hello, everyone, and welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. This is a Q&A special, so please, everybody, get your questions in the chat. They can be about anything that you like within probably some form of reason. I'd probably draw the line at some questions, but I don't know what the questions are until they're asked, I suppose. But yes, please do get them in the live chat and we'll answer as many as we can over the next 45 minutes to an hour. I am Scott Carney, and joining me tonight for, which is always a very good podcast to do, is Jamie Mackay. Jamie, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I was just saying it you off camera there. This was my first 5-day week after my 2-week holiday, so I feel like I've been hit by a freight train. But you know what? It's the weekend. The only downside is it's an international week and there's no proper football on. Honestly, I'm sick to death of these international weeks. By the way, like I think this is the third one since we went back. Somebody said the other day that there's another one in November, so just get them out the way. Just get them out the way, man. Just get them out the way and play proper football. But no, glad to be here, and I'm glad I've not actually done a live Q&A in a while. I enjoy it because I like to see what the rest of the guys in the chat are all thinking about the team and things like that, and I like to gauge the general reaction of everyone else. So it's always a good one, mate. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is. It's generally a good one to do. We tend to get pretty varied questions, mate. So yeah, you guys in the chat, you literally set the agenda tonight. So by all means, get the questions. And yeah, my week's the same, mate. I'm very much working my ticket just now as the notice has been handed in at the current job. So not that tools are downed. I would say they're 3/4 downed really just now. And yeah, just waiting for the next move in my career, mate, really. And yeah, it's just been a bit of a... You know what's bizarre is, like, my job that I'm currently in is quite a busy job, right? And it flies in, and I very rarely have a week that kind of drags in. But this week I've been like, God, is it only Wednesday? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it only Wednesday? And it's just because it's that feeling you get into it. It's that feeling you get, when you're going elsewhere. So
You're on borrowed time when you hand your notice in. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's one of the ones, but you may as well enjoy it. Just enjoy this sky if you can get away with it, mate.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I intend to. I intend to.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, as well as being sponsored by Manscaped, we've also teamed up with the Essence Vault to bring you 20% off your order. The link for that is in the description for this podcast. Click on that when you go onto the site. It will come up and say Club at 22 have gifted you 20% off. The Essence Vault do fragrances that are inspired by on-street brands, but for nowhere near the cost that the mainstream brands are, be all your high street kind of brands. I use their stuff, generally I do. They're superb. Generally the stuff is absolutely great. Smells brilliant, long lasting, all the things you could wish for. So please go and check that out. I'm coming up to Christmas and all that, get the other half something nice, that's the kind of thing that you do. Right, we'll get straight into it, mate. I started a few straight off the bat. Smoke Madra has lowered the tone a little bit, but if Jamie knows his stuff here, he will know the right answer to say. So, question for Jamie: what colour of pants are you wearing, and what type, Jamie?
I think I've got my Manscaped ones on the night.
Yes, there you go, mate. There you go. We're off to
I've got my Manscaped ones. They are black with white and gold trim, if you must know. So yeah, Manscaped, always repping Manscaped, man, and they're the comfiest boxers I think I've ever put on. So there we go. There's your answer.
They are absolutely superb. They are brilliant. I am a fan of them as well. I am a great fan of Manscaped boxers. They are very, very good, and I'm not just saying that. They are superb, absolutely brilliant. I think I'm waiting for. What am I about the made the order the other day? 6, I think. I ordered 6 the other day.
I've only got 2, so I'll be waiting for my other 4 in the post, mate. Thanks.
That's great. I bought these myself, mate.
They're not. They're not free.
No, they're not freebies, mate. These ones are not free. No, I purchased these ones myself. That's how much I like them, though. That's generally how much I like them. They are superb.
Loving the brand. Loving the brand.
Well, exactly, mate. Living the dream. So, Smoke Madra, hope that answers your question. Lyndon Beans asked, new job working the CEO for Manscaped, Scott. If only. If only. I would be rubbing shoulders with quite interesting people. You know what kind of blew my mind? And I'm sorry, we've not even moved on to Rangers, but these pods tend to happen when we get kind of approached by Manscaped to obviously for them to kind of sponsor the pod. It was all a wee bit like, what are you talking about? Are you sure you want to do something like that kind of thing? And the back and forth, and then everywhere I started to see it, like UFC, American football, the boxing. I'm like, fucking Manscaped's everywhere. So to be fair,
Huge brand.
it's a very cool brand to be
Aye.
involved with. But no, I am not going to work as a CEO for Manscaped, and I'm probably not going to even be on a tenth of what the CEO of Manscaped is on, to be completely
Mm.
honest. So that kind of shows you whereabouts that I'll be. But no, I wish I was. James Scott, get this one out of the way as well. Quick question, lads. What's for dinner tonight? My missus made me a chicken curry tonight with actually wedges because we thought we had chips and we didn't, but it actually turned out to be pretty good. But wedges, it was actually quite nice, and fried rice. So yes, that was my dinner. Jamie, what was your dinner, or what is your
That
dinner?
that sounds delicious. At least your missus is actually made dinner. My missus is
She
actually
did.
going to be for work at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So she's currently running about mental upstairs, trying to get ready to go. So I've not had my dinner cooked, poor me. But I'll be getting some form of takeaway. I think a pizza was maybe the shout earlier. If anyone, we're not sponsored by Farina in the West End, by the way, but Farina in the West End is wow. You want to get a pizza out of there, nice thin crust, very nice tomato sauce. I'm a margarita man. Sometimes I like a wee anchovy on there, but I think it's going to be a margarita tonight. So yeah, again, there's your answer. I think I'm going to go pizza, but I'll keep if it changes within the next 45 minutes to an hour. Don't worry, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. If people want to, food places want to sponsor us, I am all for that.
Come
Genuinely,
ahead,
all
come
for
ahead.
as you can tell by my physique, I quite fancy a bit of food now and again.
Me too. So we'll go Wingstop, Bucks if you want to get
Box,
in
100%
contact.
box.
If you want
Yeah,
to get in
box.
contact with come ahead. We'll be pleased to
Tovskis,
have you.
Tovskis as well. Absolutely
Oh,
superb, mate. Top
Toski's brunch is the one, by the way. Very good.
top notch scran, really top notch scran. So if any of these are listening, you know anybody, by all means, the email
Yep,
and that's down in the description. Get them in
that'd be
contact
lovely.
with us.
That'd be
We'll
lovely.
happily do that. Yeah, happily do that. Brilliant. No, thank you very much, Jamie. I appreciate that, mate. Right, see if we can get a Rangers one to get going. Where are we? Paul's asked, see the big game, should we bin the 10 position and go flat three in the midfield and allow Diomande to press forward when needed? Jamie, this has become a bit of
Mm.
a talking point, I think, amongst fans, what we should do with the
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
We've not really seen Barami in the 10 yet, right? So I'm very keen to see him in the 10. I want him a sustained run in there. I didn't like against, who did we play at the weekend? St Johnson.
St Johnson, yeah.
That Diamandi was quite pushed quite high up next to him, and I didn't really like that. I didn't think there was a real need for it. I could get what
Mm,
Clement was trying to do in terms of getting as many of the creative players towards the end of the box as he could at the one time, but I felt like
yeah.
it kind of limited where Barami could make space for himself. I think he's a clever player. I think
Mm-hmm.
Tom Lawrence has silenced a lot of people, I'm not going to lie. Maybe not silenced, but he's answered critics in terms of what
Yeah,
we think he could do in the 10, but it's
yeah,
just his sustainability for the full season that worries me. I'm
yeah.
not opposed to a flat three. The only thing that puts me off about it is having proper pace. And right now we don't have pace on the wings. Not really. Czerny's quick enough,
Mm,
but we need a bit more pace there. But it's one that I wouldn't be completely against for the kind of bigger European games to maybe try a flatter three. What's your thoughts?
Oh, so the number 10 position for me on the whole, not just Rangers wise, but actually in football, I just think it seems like one of these things that's became so stylish and a thing that you need to have in your team. Personally, I don't think we actually ever really need to play a number 10. I think it should be, in my opinion, you really only need one sitting midfielder, and it's a diamond, and you get two in front of him, two almost attacking midfielders. And for me at the moment, it would be Barami and Diamande with Barron or Raskin at the base of that.
Yeah.
That would be the way. I just think the number 10 is just it's like it's a trendy thing. It's a trendy thing to have, isn't it? So yeah, and I just think as well. I think when Lawrence has been in there, it's not been massively effective. Sometimes he picks up really nice little pockets of space, but most of the time it's not really working. Actually, like for me, the best player in the number 10 that we've had in recent years is probably Cantwell, and Cantwell he blew hot and cold. He wasn't consistent enough. We've obviously not seen enough of Barami yet, but I would be I'd be keeping him in there. Clement's not going to stray away from playing that sole creative midfielder at the top of a base of sort of two more sitting midfielders, which I don't like. But that's the way that he wants his teams to play. With one of them pushing forward a little bit more. So I think we'll just need to wait and see. But I think I get what you're saying there, mate. There's not enough pace on the wings. There's not enough players on the wings at the moment. We've also got too many injuries, but like we spoke about with the centre backs and the defence getting a real settled back four, but obviously we've got Yefty now who's playing well, and we get Proper and Suter who are coming on again. We need that same consistency in the midfield, not even just in terms of how they're playing, but who's starting as well. So I think it's definitely one to watch. But for the big games, I mean, in Europe, it's much more open, isn't it? It's a much more open game, so you can see it then. But domestically, I don't know, but come on, just he's always got a few wee surprises up his sleeve. So I think let's just watch this space.
I think with Clement, though, there's not been much in terms of flexibility in the way that he approaches things in terms of his formation. I know sometimes it looks a wee bit scattergun, especially towards the end of games, as he flings players on in random positions that don't make sense to anybody really bar him. But I don't see him really changing it a great deal, but I agree with you, mate. I think the biggest thing that would aid this team is consistency in picking the starting 11. I know it's not always possible. You're going to have to change a few, but we have seen quite a lot of changes from game to game. Not in all, but in some you've seen quite a lot of changes kind of back and forth. And I get there's an element of protecting the squad, etc. But at the end of the day, they're professional football players. They should be able to manage 2 games a week, and because there's been 2 games a week in modern football now for I don't know how long. Do you know what I mean? It's been.
I know, mate. And just to jump in, and you're saying that I was speaking to my mate about it last week about we did it under Gerrard. We had a consistent team under Gerrard. We played in Europe up until the last 16, the 2 seasons that he was here. Do you know what I mean? So it's absolutely no excuse whatsoever. The thing about Clement saying as well, wait till you see this team in October and wait to see how fit they are and blah, blah, blah. If they're fit enough, you should be able to start your same 11 most of the time and rotate for home games like Sunday against St Johnstone or the odd cup game. But see, the majority of your games, start all the same players, start all your best 11. Don't tinker with it. So that's a pain point for me, and I think that's probably a pain point for most of the fans. Is how the hell did we do it under Gerrard and we can't do it under Clement?
Yeah, absolutely. And Curry made a great point that I couldn't agree more with. 2 of the last 3 games picks on the pitch. I just don't get it. I don't. I'm not even going to sit and pretend that I do understand that. I'm like,
I know.
Doesn't make any sense. Thank you very much for your question, Paul, mate. Very much appreciate that. Craig Mac 1981 has said, "How you doing, Craig, mate? Good to see you." On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how exciting is it watching Rangers under Clement? A generous 5 or 6, maybe. One thing is for sure right now is that I am not really enjoying the style of play that I'm seeing. No, maybe not the style of play, it's the performance levels that I'm not enjoying. Clement himself, he said after the St Johnstone game, it could be better, it could have been better, it could have been better, but ultimately I can't see where it's coming from without recruitment for one and for a slight change in his rigid approach at times. So now it's not very entertaining. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to sit and say that Sunday and I know there was a lot surrounding it being an 8 p.m. kickoff and whatever else, but it was not an enjoyable game of football to sit and watch. I mean, as a neutral, you would have turned that over. You really wouldn't have watched that. It wasn't a very good game at all. Mm-hmm. And I made the point that I don't mind games like that when they crop up from time to time, if it's the blip, if it's not the reoccurring performances that we are seeing. However, it is what we're seeing under Clement. We have maybe one good game and then we have 2-3 games where it's a bit of a mess and a bit of a slog to watch, a bit of a kind of, it's hard to get excited about it, and it's a lot of the things as Clement talks about wanting the fans back on side, etc. And I'm not expecting Rangers to play like in Barca or whatever, but you still want to see something. And like, for example, see if the Malmo game had been at Ibrox would have been on fire. It would have been so loud because of we were seeing something, we were seeing proper football. So right now, in all honesty, I'll give a generous 5.5 out of 10, really, because I don't think we're entertaining to watch at all. Jamie?
Yeah. Craig, firstly, good to see you, mate. And I do believe that I owe you a pint in the Viceroy because you bought me one a few weeks ago. So remind me next time I see you because you very kindly bought me a pint. No, look, I'm going to back Scott up. See, of late, especially this season, I can't really say I've been too excited. The most excited I've been is watching the Malmo game, the way in which we played in the Malmo game. That looked to be like the Rangers that we seen when Clement came in. When we played against Betis, we beat them 3-2. There seemed to look like there was some form of identity back in terms of creating chances, getting the ball forward very quickly, playing through the channels and things like that. But yeah, just like lately, like even against Leon, I thought it was a pretty tough watch. Like we had the chance to go up with the Czerny chance that he skied over the bar, and we were finding space. We were getting ourselves some half chances, things like that. But even at that, like I find the build up slow to watch. I find it's not quite shoehorn football again that we've seen under managers that came in. I mean, Gio was bad for it at times. The old shoehorn football was work out wide and try and find space, get it into the nine. But yeah, I don't know at the moment. I don't know. I'm not excited by it. I didn't even go on Sunday. I didn't even go to St Johnstone game. It was such a late kickoff time, and that's saying a lot because it's only a 15-minute walk from me from Govan. But I couldn't bring myself to do it after Thursday because
I'll say no comment because I'll have further away than you do.
I know you do. I know you do. But no, it's just like I don't really know how it's going for Clement. I'm hearing more grumbles now than I ever have about Clement, and there was a few questioning a lot of his decision making towards the end of the season when we obviously bottled the league and we lost the Scottish Cup. But it's coming to the point now where it's questions have to be asked about his tactics, about the messages that are being relayed to the players, about how he wants them to play. It's like game to game, we're looking like a different team. Bipolar Rangers again. It's the same as what we just talked about, mate. You want a settled centre back partnership. You want a settled centre mid. You want a settled level of performance too. You want to see what we're all about. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really don't know what kind of football team we are right now, and it's concerning to me. So, Craig, to answer your question, mate, yeah, I'm not excited about Rangers at all at the moment. They're gonna need to do something massive. They're going to do something massive for me to get excited. I'll tell you something. If they come back after international break and they beat Aberdeen and they beat Kilmarnock, I'll get excited then because you know what gets me excited? Fucking results, man. Results get me excited. That's and then you can do the style of play. But at the moment, and folk will argue, but we've actually been on a run in the league. We've not conceded in 4 games, blah, blah, blah. But you need to look at the performances. You need to look at the way in which we're playing at Ibrox. It's slow. It's lacking. It's lacking any form of creativity. The tempo's dropped. It's like, there's not really any standout players. Our only standout players a sitting midfielder, Connor Barron. Do you know what I mean? Like he's probably the only player that's been good at. Diamande, the jury's still out for me as well.
This is now he is hot and cold.
Sorry, this is a very long-winded answer, but I think there needs to be a big performance somewhere. Say we don't get results against Aberdeen or Kelly and we drop some points in the league. We then need to go and give me something in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Go and batter Steaua Bucharest at Ibrox, or go and put in a great performance in Nice. It shows something, man. Shows that something's clicking because he's the one that's. I heard Ali actually on the podcast saying he said, "Oh, you see this Rangers team in October. It's mid-October. And it looks the exact same as it did at Tynecastle in the first game of the season. So I'm telling you honestly, like I really think it's going to turn for him if we start to lose some games. It's going to turn for Big Phil. I would say so. We'll need to watch this space.
Again, I think it's starting to wear thin on supporters because it's the peaks and troughs that we go through, and emotionally as well as a fan, you go through it. You get a good performance, you're up with it. You're going right here. We go. Is this the bit? Is this the bit where it clicks on the platform for us to kick on? And then you hit the slump again, and the slump is just as bad as it was before you had the good performance, and you're just like, why are we continuously going around in circles? And it does feel a wee bit like that. And Clement can say how much he likes about, it's not what we wanted, it's not what we done this and all that, and hide behind stats. Like, came out with stats as well after the Leon game saying about same shots and all that. And I'm going, no. You can't come out and you kind of flirt that stuff with me. So look, we definitely need to see improvements in terms of performance. Again, I know I'm hypocritical in saying if we perform the way we did against St Johnstone and we win the league, then I'll absolutely take it. Of course I will. But realistically, you'll get caught out. You will get caught out continuing to play like that. At some point, it'll catch up with you and it'll bite you on the backside. We all know that. We've all seen it previously. So that's one for sure. So we definitely need an improvement after the international break. Justin's got quite a good question, mate. If you could bring back 3 players from the past to improve this current team, who would you pick? Defender, midfielder and striker. Now, before we go into this and say Richard Gough, Paul Gascoigne and Brian Laudrup or something along those lines.
There's got to be some sort of time limit here. There's got to be, Justin, hit us up in the comments. There's got to be some sort of time limit. Is it like the
You've
last
got to remember, this is
like
a modern, not a modern day, as if that's back in the day in the 90s for when we were kids, but I mean, like, it's modern football the way it is now. So who would benefit this team the most? The way that he plays, the way that we think Clement wants to play, the way that Clement thinks he wants to play. Well, like, who would be the biggest benefit to this current Rangers team? My first one that I think would be exactly what we are looking for in the number 6 role is Barry Ferguson.
So mine is also that role, but I was going to say Stephen Davis.
Oh, Davis, yeah.
So I was going to say it's Stephen Davis because
what one? The first one or the second one? First Steve Davis or second Steve Davis? Steve Davis.
Oh, second. So because I actually think he's there's not been an anchor like him since he left. I don't think anyway. I don't think he's the that's the sort of number 6 that everyone's been crying out for, that we don't really feel that we've got yet. Because you've got to remember, Connor Barron actually at Aberdeen was more of an 8. He's been sort of taught that role since he's came to Ibrox. So he's still getting to know that role in itself. Raskin's a 6, but he went off the boil since he got injured and he's not been on the team. So I'd be bringing Davis back. You'd be bringing Ferguson back. I mean, two of the best central midfielders of our generation, mate. Probably, and also Hall of Famers too. So, like,
absolutely, I think Barry and his pomp and this team would work wonders for the team. I really do, because you'd immediately give him the captain's armband, wouldn't you, and just be like, right, Baz, go out and do your stuff. So mine would be Barry. Defender, I think you're looking at either a Quella or a Bagheera, maybe Amoruso, something like that.
That's where I was going. It's because you said, bear in mind this style of play, Bagheera coming out for the back. Oh, mind the goal he scored against Dundee United.
I love Boogie, mate. I love the guy, honestly.
Oh, and he had, Maji Bagheera, Maji Bagheera, so much better. He had a good tune as well, man. Like, Bagheera's mine. Because obviously he played in the same team as Davis as well. That Rangers team was honestly unbelievable. You know how you get the Sky Sports sort of like old games during the day? Like I had one on the other day, and it was like, what one was it again? It was the time that Walter Smith obviously came back. They went on the run to the Europa League final. So it was 08, I think. Would that have been Queller that was in that team?
Yes.
It was the Old Firm game that Stephen Naismith scored, and I'm not going to talk about Stephen Naismith. I feel about Stephen Naismith the same that Scott feels about Stephen Naismith. I think he's a wee bastard. But
he's Judas. He is absolutely Judas. Yes.
He's Judas. But it was the goal that he scored, the absolute perler of a volley, man. But I just like, you know how they put the team up before on Sky Sports, and I just looked at the team and I thought, oh my God, I wish we knew we were spoiled. I wish we knew we were spoiled, because you just had players with dig, with technical ability, all of the things that you want in a Rangers team, and we're lacking that these days. We're big time lacking it these days.
Right, so striker, in terms of the way that Clement plays just now.
I know who I'm going for straight away.
Right, you go then. You go first, because I'm having a think still.
Well, so I'm thinking more just a pure goal scorer, because I'm thinking of the chances that are created for D9 at the moment. That header at the weekend, man. Oh my God, he gets a barrel of chances because we're getting the ball out wide and we're getting the ball in the box. Chris Boyd for me, by the way. Chris Boydie would rattle the goals in for this team. He would rattle them in, honestly, because it's the expected goals at the moment, especially for the number 9. And you know what Desers is like? He passes up 4 or 5 absolute golden chances pretty much every game. I think Boydie would be brilliant. I'd bring him back in a second.
Boydie's a good shout. McCoist obviously falls into that kind of same bracket, kind of similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you know who I think would be good? I think Jelavic would be good in this team.
Oh yeah, Jelavic.
Do you know what I mean? I think Jelavic would be good because he was strong, man, and he could not half get himself about a bit. Hately maybe as well, but Hately really wasn't a kind of lone striker. He did need the little man beside him at times. So it's a really tough one. That's a really, really difficult one. Also, and I'm not saying it would be him, but see the peak form Alfredo Morelos that we've seen, he would be perfect for this team. He absolutely would be perfect, but unfortunately we didn't see that for a long kind of sustained period. But Morelos would be good on this. But I'll go with Jelavic. Yeah, I'll go with Jelavic for that. Because I think he would suit.
Somebody's also just said in the comment, Purcell, I completely forgot about Big Dad.
Aye. Again, he was he liked Novo quite near him, or Lovenkrands quite near him, didn't he?
The Purcell Novo was like a sort of modern day McCoist and Hately, wasn't it? It was like big
Mikey Moles. That's a good one. Mikey Moles is a good shout.
Mikey Moles. That's the thing about like
Kevin Kyle. Yeah, definitely, definitely Kevin Kyle. Definitely Kevin Kyle.
At times I would actually take Kevin Kyle over Big Desers, by the way.
No, I don't think I would, mate. I'm not a big fan of Mr.
Yeah, maybe not.
Mr. Kyle. I'm not a fan. But no, good question. Very, very good question. Before we go any further, I'll give Jamie a little respite to gather his thoughts as we discuss the Manscaped promotion. So this episode is brought to you by Manscaped, the global leader in men's lifestyle and grooming. Introducing Manscaped newest innovation, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver, the game-changing tool that brings the luxury of a professional shave right into your home. Whether you're after your daily silky smooth finish or prefer to maintain a rugged 5 o'clock shadow, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver is your go-to for precision and style every time. Head over to manscaped.com, join the 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by using the code CLUBAT22 at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. So what makes the Chairman Pro stand out? Well, it's all about versatility and precision. It comes with 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. You have the skin-safe full blade foil for that close, smooth shave when you're looking to go completely clean. And if a clean shave isn't your style, just switch to the skin-safe stubble trimmer to keep your stubble looking sharp and polished. Both heads are designed with skin-safe technology to help reduce razor burn and irritation, so your skin feels smooth and comfortable after every shave. A standout feature that truly differentiates the Chairman Pro from the rest is the flex head technology. This ensures a superior shave by allowing both blades and the pivoting head to seamlessly adapt to the unique contours of your face and neck, helping you maintain great contact with your skin at every angle. And if you want even more precision, on the right side of the bracket there's a precision lock. When you lock it, the blade head sits firm so you can achieve more precise shave. And here's something that's going to make sure your grooming routine is even easier. The Chairman Pro is waterproof, and the waterproof feature doesn't just makes shaving easier, it also simplifies the clean-up too. Just a quick rinse under the tap and you're all set. The Chairman Pro isn't just for daily shavers either. It's powerful enough to tackle up to 5-day growth, making it perfect whether you're shaving every day or just tidying up after a few days. Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB at 22 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB at 22 at manscaped.com. While you're there, try out their boxers. As me and Jamie said, they are very good. You will not be disappointed in the boxers. They are very good. And thank you to Manscaped for their continued support of this podcast. Ali was right. It was quite a difficult one, but he didn't have to make an arse out last week. But I think I'd done that a little bit better than he did.
That was a long one, but I'd clocked out by the time that Ali did the Manscaped. But now you said he's done it badly, I might actually go back and watch it last week, give myself a laugh. But
He just fell apart, mate. He literally just crumbled. I was listening to him and I was going, I'm actually going to need to take over him. He was so lost. I was just like, where is he going? I mean, it's not as if I know it off by heart. Of course, I'd read it out, but I was like, where's he going here?
But it's the one that sometimes those sentences are so long that you've got to sort of come up for air.
You've got to go again. I know it's quite difficult. So thank you very much, Justin, for your question. That was a very good one. Michael is asked, guys can ask what you'll do for a living if you don't mind me. I'm assuming that's meant to say asking. Quiz long, I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it means asking. I am a business development manager for a truck and trailer aftermarket parts supplier. That's exciting as that sounds, but I am just about to move to do a similar role for a power tool company. So that's what I do. Jamie draws things on bits of paper. That's pretty much his job. And Jamie?
I'm a graphic designer. designer. I do web and brand design. But yeah, as Scott says, and as most of my pals say, I just colour things in, and I'm actually basically I get ripped to shreds for that. But however, my dad worked in advertising, and that's kind of how I get into it. My dad actually, as my dad was telling us, Scott, in the pub last week, my dad used to work for Rangers, and he designed. Probably some of our older listeners tonight will have the VHS tapes. My dad designed pretty much all of those from, I'd say, 88 right up until the late 90s, so right through 9 in a row. So we've got all the original pieces of artwork from that up in the loft. And then my dad's got tons of the old tops because he had to take pictures of them, things like that. So yeah, that's my inheritance. I've got all loads of players' tops and things all up in my loft. Yeah, so yeah, it makes it worthwhile for getting ripped to shreds for colouring in. So
Ali's a professional dogger. Ryan's a full-time Rangers da. Nicky's a John Terry lookalike, and Ross is still in school. So that's pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, Nicky flicks between the John Terry lookalike and that red t-shirt he came on and looked at Tiger Woods, isn't it? With his hat as
Tiger
well.
Woods, Tiger Woods, Nicky, he does like to do Tiger Woods as well. Yeah, he does.
He's a golfer as well, Nicky.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So yes, that's what we do. We'll go to Blue Nose John's, kind of similar, I suppose, to what we're asked previously. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Time to go back to 2 number 6s to protect the flanks when the fullbacks go forward. If we play Casemiro and Casemiro's going to be an attacking fullback with Jeff Day on the left, not opposed to having 2 6s, to be honest. I think in some games, I think we could need it. In other games, I don't think it would be required. If Tavernier continues to be our right back, I don't think we really need to be discussing having 2 6s, to be honest.
Yeah.
Jamie, your thoughts on that?
It's the same answer as when we were asked about the number 10 position, because I don't really think we should be playing 2 6s. Like Ryan Jack, he played that role very well where he kind of sat in for Tav, or he sat in for Borna the season that we won 55. So I just think that sort of neglects us going forward as well. It leaves us without a man going forward, and it's not the type of game that Clement likes to play. So yeah, I don't think it's really needed. I mean, I think for games that you're away from home where they've got a lot of pace down the wings and you're getting battered, then possibly. but he might just fix that tactically within the game. I don't think it's something that we'll do consistently.
Yeah, and Curry, I've just seen that. How Scotia's great. Scotia's superb. We've been over this a million times, and I'm not being angry about it. Scotia's very much still our pal. So he's just his new job and whatever else Scotia's got on in his life, he can't commit to the pod. It's as simple as that. Got to remember that we've got full-time jobs outside of this. We've got to take care of ourselves first as well. So, but Scotia's doing absolutely great. He's brilliant. He was off, and where was he? Where did he go? Vienna, yeah, he was away in Vienna for a while.
In Vienna.
He's Scotia's great, but I will very much pass on that you were asking for him. But yeah, I still see Scotia. I still go for a pint with him and that for the football and stuff. So no fallout there or nothing like that. So don't believe all you read in the papers. That's all I'll say. Billy McWhirter has asked, would you guys take Steven Gerrard back as manager? Me personally, I would say yes. It's a difficult one for me, this, because Steven Gerrard will forever be held in such a high regard for me because I adored Steven Gerrard before he even came to Rangers. As a football player, I used to watch, I remember watching Monday Night Football with my dad, watching Liverpool play, watching Steven Gerrard and thinking he is an absolute baller of a player. He was superb. I thought he was great. I really did. And obviously when he came to Rangers, I was like besotted by him. I really was. I fell in absolute love with the guy. Gerrard came to complete a task, and Gerrard completed that task. He stopped 10 in a row and he won us 55. It's as simple as that. He had an end goal. Things didn't go well for Gerrard when he left Rangers, so we would be bringing him back purely on the romance of it all together, I think. Obviously, he's in Saudi now, no disrespect to the Saudi league, but it's not really a league that people take serious. It's basically a money league, isn't it? It's guys playing Football Manager in real life. But do I think Steven Gerrard get more of a tune out of him? Do I prefer his leadership to others that we've had in? Absolutely, I do, yes. Because I think Steven Gerrard is as close as you're probably ever going to get. There might be somebody else that comes along, and it's the biggest praise that I can give. Gerrard is the aura about him is up there with the levels that Smith would have had when he walked in. Not quite at that level, but you'll get where I'm coming from. He would have had complete control of a dressing room if he wanted it, and I think that's a thing in a manager that suits a Rangers team. I'm not going to lie. So if I keep my blue tinted glasses on and my Steven Gerrard glasses on, absolutely I would take him back because I love the guy. Absolutely love the guy. But realistically, he's not going to come back because the money's not there. But if money was no option, because I think he's on like 16 million a year or 15 million a year or something like that out in Saudi. It's absolutely bonkers the amount of money that he's on. Might even be more than that. I might be underselling that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if the appetite for Gerrard would be to come back. But personally, it's the best football I've seen Rangers play in years when we had Steven Gerrard, and it would be hard for me to say no or not be excited if he was appointed Rangers manager again.
Yeah, Steven Gerrard's the third best paid manager in the world. You do know that, don't you?
No, he's minted, man.
The third best paid manager. Like that. See, to think about that.
Who's top? Pep top?
It'll probably be Pep or something like that. Like I seen it the other week, but it's mental money, man. It's mental money. But like Steven Gerrard for me, like just just epitomised everything that you wanted in a Rangers manager. Also, like he had a very close relationship. You've got to remember with Walter Smith. So I think he got the remit very quickly because he surrounded himself with the greatest Rangers managers of all time, Walter Smith, Graham Souness. So he got it, he understood it. The players respect him. The players respected him because he was an ex-player, because he was a legend, because he knew football. Also, for me, I've actually not enjoyed listening to a Rangers manager that much since Steven Gerrard, because every single time that he talked,
you hung off every word. Every word he said.
Even the season that we got very close to them and we bottled it. Remember the fucking Joe Worrell pass back at Rugby Park in February, and that's obviously when Celtic overtook us and they won the league that season. But yeah, even that season, I thought there's progression there. There's so the thing, he came in. You're right, mate. He had a remit. He won us that league, but I'd take him back in a heartbeat because he would come in and he would start the players into shape. His connections too within the game I always found interesting. I would honestly, I would take him back in a minute. See, when he left, I honestly felt like I'd been dumped off a bird or something like that. I was devastated.
Me too, mate.
I was devastated for weeks on end. Like, my missus was like, "Are you please gonna fucking cheer up?" It's just a football manager. I was like, it's not just a football manager. It's one of the greatest midfielders of all time, who just turned out to be your manager, who just turned out to win a very important league title, is just fucking stabbed us in the back and left. But I've seen somebody say in the comments, yes, he didn't do very well at Villa, but he did.
No.
He did not bad in Scotland, and he had the beating of Brendan Rodgers, and he would probably have the beating of Brendan Rodgers again. So yeah, I take him back. I take him back in a minute. In a minute, I think. It's just like it's not really, apart from the run to the Europa League final in Seville. It's not really felt massively exciting for me since Steven Gerrard left, and I think a lot of Rangers fans will probably say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I remember the day I had to swap I've got all these pictures and that behind me, and I had to swap the Gerrard out one out when he left, and I was like,
Waterworks.
I was like, I'm gutted at this. Obviously, my good mate at Art of Gold does that kind of stuff, and I was devastated. You know, I had to change it. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm doing it.
I know.
And it is still in a frame, but it's just behind another one. So I was like, I can't get rid of you. I'm keeping you. I was like, I can't get rid of you. I'm keeping you.
You never know, mate. You never know, mate. It could be
going back.
It could be going back up in the wall sometime soon.
Yeah, you never know. But thank you very much for that. Andrew Muir has asked, is Dave King the answer to our current woes, and why is the board, what's left of it, so reluctant to accept his offer? Oh, you've opened up a can of worms there, mate, to be honest. I'll be completely honest, is that it's not a dig at you, Andrew, at all, but I'm so sick to the back teeth of having to discuss off the field matters with Rangers.
Yeah.
And obviously there was another announcement during the week that somebody else is leaving towards Christmas, head of football operations, Craig something. What's his second name? I forget.
McPherson.
So he's moving on. So it's another position gone. Would I take Dave King back? Is it the answer? I think he would certainly do the job that he would set out to do, and it would come in to kind of overhaul what's happening. I don't really think it's up for debate though that he's going to. I don't think there's any scope for it at all. I think it's like literally zero. I don't think there would be a percentage chance of Dave King returning as chairman. I just don't see it happening. I think the board are so reluctant to change right now because they're the custodians of the club. They're the ones that have put their money into where they are just now. Whether that makes it right or wrong, it's just that is exactly the case just now. Am I concerned that they didn't believe, even when John Gilligan came out and had his kind of interview with the press and whatever else, and clearly that the board don't see the failings that we see or feel like the need for change needs to happen? I believe there is a need for change. I believe that we need them to appoint the correct people to take a step back and just let them go on with it. I really do. And it all comes to start with the CEO. The CEO is like, I know we all know this, but it is so important that we get this right and get it done as quickly as possible, because it's been on for far too long now. There's quite a big vacancy list now at Ibrox, but there is none more so important, in my opinion, than a CEO. We have to get a CEO appointed as quickly as possible. So, a long way round to answering that, Andy. Is Dave King the answer? He would probably do a job, yes. Is it ever going to happen? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm a Scot, really. It's one of these questions that just keeps rearing its head. You know what I mean? And it's really, you don't really want to be talking about it. You want to be talking about what's going on in the field, but really the impact that the board is having is kind of having an impact on what's happening on the field at the moment. Especially as Scott said there, the CEO thing is just so vital for us to get right, and for us still not to have anyone is a bit laughable, really. Like, obviously, I've seen Dave King's comments when he came out. I don't agree with what he did coming out in the press. John Gilligan alluded to that in his interview. He said, look, if Dave King wants to reach out, he's still a majority shareholder in the club, so he can speak to us. So I think there was a bit of I think there was a bit of sort of shadiness going on there. Him actually going speaking to the press before speaking to people actually within the board. I think he was.
Well, I will. What I think he has spoke with the board, mate. I think he has went to the
Right.
board first, and then he's trying to get. This is just my personal opinion, by the way. I've got no
Yeah.
inside knowledge before MD says it, and I don't. But I believe he's went to the board. The board have pretty went not a chance, Dave. You're not coming back. So he's decided that I'm going to do this through the media. I'm going to do it through Chris Jack, to try and get the fans to kind of build a bit of momentum in order to do something. If Dave King
Yeah.
was going to come back, it would have happened as soon as Bennett left. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah. So no, do you know what the answer, Andrew? The answer to our current was is appointing a CEO is getting some grounding there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's been months now, so there can be some form of stability, so he can start to help the manager, and then obviously there's another few positions still to be filled as well. So Dave King's obviously not happening, but we need to start filling these essential roles up in the offices upstairs in Ibrox. Until we do that, there's still going to be a bit of a dark cloud hanging over the way in which we operate as a club. And a caveat, by the way, I love Dave King. I thought he was brilliant. Dave King was the reason that Steven Gerrard came to the club. Remember, he went down to Anfield. He met him. He convinced him to come up. So most fans have a lot of admiration for Dave King, but I just think the way in which the board are placed at the moment, I don't think there's any favour for him, so I can't see it happening. But I'm with Scotty. We really need to. John Gallagher's got a big job on his hands. He needs to get this CEO search cracking. He needs to get someone of note in as well.
Ironically, Gallagher won't have very much to do with it, mate, which is a weird thing. It'll all be down to the kind of people around about him. He's really the face for the board just now. But look, it's long overdue that we get one sorted. The kind of embarrassing situation that we had with Gillespie from St Mirren, that's not really went down very well with fans, and the board they really have to make sure that this one's proper. I think if it's sold right to a CEO that has experience of a club of similar stature to Rangers, then it shouldn't be a problem to get one. Rangers is an attractive job because there's a lot of things that can be fixed quite quickly, and you'll buy yourself a great amount of time with the fans. There is a lot to do. There's absolutely no doubt that there's a lot to do. We have to somewhat steady the ship, but it's crucial for Rangers going forward. I mean, absolutely crucial that we get a CEO as quickly as we possibly can. I don't think there's any doubt about that. From Curry, he's asked, question for you lads, Clement has been in place for a year now. What's your honest opinion of his tenure? Have we improved? For me, it's a 4 out of 10. Jamie, I'll let you go first. What's your opinion on that? He has been here a year now. What's your honest opinion? Where are we at with Clement?
So there's actually, I think there's kind of two answers to this question, Curry. Like I think there's progression in specific players. I do think he knows how to nurture young players that he's brought in. I think you only really need to look at Connor Barron. Connor Barron's actually went up a notch since he played at Aberdeen. I think Yefty as well. So I think a lot of players that he's got in, he'll have performing well. On the whole, with our style of play and the way in which we play and the way in which we approach the majority of our games, no, we've not improved for me. When he came in, I think it was about this time. It must have been this time last year he came in. Must have been October. It was October time, wasn't it?
Aye, yeah.
Because I think he was in charge of the League Cup semi final, because obviously only had 2 games to win that cup. So the way in which he came in firing, and now that just looks like a new manager bounce in terms of the players wanting to impress and get new contracts and stay in the team and stay on the bench and things like that. But yeah, I expected us to by now be have a really clear, rigid style of play, which we don't have. Have real standout star performers, which, with the exception of a couple, we've got okay performers. I don't think we've got star performers that a club would come in and buy them tomorrow. And yeah, some of the I know this isn't Clement specific. I know this is more of a sort of squad based question that you're asking. Some of what Clement says in the media and the way in which he approaches interviews leaves me a little bit puzzled too. So an example recently is the John Stewart handball. It was a handball, clear as day, man. And I don't know why he came out defending it and saying it wasn't. And everyone knows the rules. Everyone knows the new rules. So there's some wee. I know Ali likes to say this a lot. Red flag. There's some red flags for me at the moment. I think a 4 out of 10's slightly harsh. I'm maybe going more. I'm maybe going more a 5 or 6. But if we end October badly, it's going to be like 2 or 3 for me, mate. So it's the waiting game. But the thing I wanted us to be so much better, and also a lot of fans were hanging on his every word when he said you're going to really see us cooking by October. And it doesn't seem like that. It just seems like we're as flat as we were at that opening game against Hearts when we drew 1-1. So yeah, watch this space. I hope we get better, but I don't like to be defeatist, but I can't really see it.
Before I go any further and say what I want to say about Clement, I want more than anything to back Clement. I want him to be a success. I want him to work. I really want to believe in the guy. I honestly do, and I think he is getting quite a significant benefit of the doubt period. I think is the easiest way to say it. What Curry said is my biggest concern that I have under Clement right now is the consistent playing players in their not natural position.
Yeah.
Now, again, I understand the depth of squad that we have. Again, it's a failure of recruitment, though, as well, more than anything else. I understand injuries can't be helped. They do happen. But again, still goes back a wee bit to recruitment because we buy injury-prone players and we love to do it. Or if they're not injury-prone, as soon as they walk through the door, they're hitting the knee with a hammer and then they're instantly injury-prone. Seems to be what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But so the consistent shoehorning players into positions that they don't play in, and Sterling's the one that stands out perfectly for me, where I'm like, I don't know where that guy's best position is. I've not got a clue. I really don't. He's played every single position bar goalkeeper, I think. So right. I don't really get what the long term plan is there. And plus, he signed a contract extension, and I'm like, is this just to use him as a stopgap and to use him as a utility player, to use him as to play wherever we feel fit that he's going to play? So that's a real concern for me. Have we improved? In all honesty, no, I don't think we have. No, I think if anything, we have, to be really generous, I think we might have stayed the same. The Catalyst has gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much for that, mate. That's very much appreciated for doing that. Thank you. That's absolutely magic of you. So I don't think we have improved. I think we are, if anything, we are the same. I think the squad's got worse due to the players that have left. I don't think we've recruited players of the correct caliber as of yet. I do think there's shining stars in there that will come good, or rough diamonds, if you like, that will come good. I think Jeff will come good. I've got no real concerns about him. I think Casemiro has to get into the team. We have to see more of him. Barron's obviously one that's took his opportunity and he's really made it his own. Yes, he's been caught out a couple of times and he isn't perfect and he's not the finished article either, but still think he can still fall under the rough diamond kind of bracket. So they're positives, but I mean, even Igamani, like right now, he's nowhere near what I would expect him to be at for a player that we are signing. And especially when you look at like Enciala that we brought in, who pretty much got made straight to the B team, pretty rapid, as he's a project player. Igamani for me so far looks very much the same. He looks like he's going to need a lot of time to get himself to a level that he would be really competing for Desser's jersey. And that's just based on what we've seen. He made a few cameos where he looked decent. Yes, he looked okay. The start that he made, he wasn't impressive at all. So right now, I feel like we're at we're at a tipping point with Clement. He's made the rod for his own back to say that we were going to see the best of this Rangers squad in October or November. It's now time for him to live up to that statement, I think, and that's probably where I am at. I'm not against Clement. I'm not wanting to go or anything like that, but he is 1-2 at most disastrous performances and results away from people calling for his head.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. That's why I said let's see where we are end of October. Somebody in the comments saying obviously Clement's he's get rid of the high wage earners and things like that, and he's brought in youth. The problem, as Scott has just said there, Clement has come out and said let's see where judges in November, October. As Rangers fans, we hang on a manager's every word. If he's saying something is happening, it's going to happen. So he should not be saying that. He should be saying, look, see this season, bit of a project, bit of a transitional period. And then the fans would give him time. The fans would say, right, okay, do you know what? We've brought in a lot of youth, brought in a lot of young players who are still to find their feet, once for the future. So it's going to take time. He's not said that, though. He said he's literally put his hands up and said, "Wait and you see how we are. We'll be playing well by October, November." It doesn't. We're nearly like a few weeks. We're going to be in November, and yet there's not even smaller signs of progression. If there was, it's not even that the players are bad players. It's the way that we're playing. It's the way that we're approaching games. It's the lack of tempo. It's a lack of urgency. It's a lack of patterns of play. It's the lack of cohesion between the midfield and the wingers. The wingers and the number 9. The number 10 when Lawrence plays is like a dead position, as somebody called out earlier on. So that's the reason that fans are getting pissed off. He said we're going to be playing well, and we're not. There's just nobody sees a thing in this team, and I really hope they prove me wrong, and I really hope Clement proves me wrong, because I like him, and he's come in and he obviously done something last season, and that's how he got that contract extension. But until we see glimmers of a playing style and consistency in a playing style, the thing about it is, like, we could go take Pataudry for argument's sake. We could go to Pataudry and beat 3-2, right? See if we play really well. And you see the Rangers team that we've been wanting to see for a while. Dig, determination, heart, loads going on in the midfield, like passages of play, tempo, all of the things that we really want from a Rangers team. If we can see that, we'll take it on the chin. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So yeah, I think let's just wait and see, mate.
Yeah, I think after this international break's the real kind of D-Day now. I think, and it's going to. We are all waiting with bated breath, really, to see what kind of Rangers team come back and the way that he's going to choose to line up going forward. It's crucial for us to get players back. I completely do understand that, but it is now time to see a wee bit of progression. As I say, not one step forward and 2 steps back, which kind of seems to be the way of things just now. I think the results in the league have been fine, yes, but there's no doubt that the performances are leaving a lot to be desired. So he's still got work to do. That's for absolute sure. That will do us for tonight, Jamie. Just reached about the hour mark, mate. So thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you for all your questions. Genuinely do love doing these kind of pods. They are brilliant. They're absolutely great to get involved in and to be part of. So thank you everybody for the questions, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Jamie, for joining me tonight, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Enjoyed it as always. I like the live chat. I like interacting with all the guys, all the dedicated followers that turn up and we chat to every week. Good to see you guys. And then I'm going to be clock watching until we're back next weekend, because international break, I cannot take it. So good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a good pod, mate. Yeah, next week for the podcast there might be a show midweek. I'm not 100% sure yet. We need to double check the scheduling, but we will be back next Friday regardless with Club Live. So make sure to tune in as we look ahead to the return of Rangers action. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, and we'll speak to you all next time. Cheers, everybody.